Well, here it is, a beautiful yet cold Saturday morning, and I'm here with Sydney in front of this beautiful artwork. I'm sure we're silhouetted, so Sydney, let's turn around.
Okay.
Woo! So it's so cool. Sydney reached out to me 2 days ago, I think, and asked if I wanted to come run with her. I'm sure it's because she knows I have not been running and I need to get back into it. So Sydney, I want to thank you.
Hi, welcome.
For all of you that don't know Sydney and I see each other at races all the time. She is one of Clint's pallies, and she just started doing ultras, and she's been running a lot. And so today I'm going to be joining her on one of her typical training runs. So Sydney,
Yes.
let's get this run started.
Let's get this party started.
All right, thanks for letting me join you.
Yeah.
All right.
Start the launch.
Sydney's running fast.
All right.
That's okay.
I always do that at the beginning and then I taper off.
Sydney just explained her route to me, which I'm going to follow her. But we're at this beautiful community center with all these natural grasses, these local woods and stone, like that wall. They did a great job. So it's going to be a really nice 2-3 mile loop that we're going to be doing.
Correct.
It's about 22 to 25 degrees out. Cold, cold, cold.
I think I saw a snow flurry too.
Yeah, I saw some snow on the way here and a little bit of wind. But we're going to do this and we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Turning left here into Meadowbrook Park. Going the wrong way.
Not conformist route.
Non-conformist. Here we come. These lights are beautiful, Sydney. Sydney was just telling me about our shared experience with taking breaks from running and then having trouble getting the motivation to get up and get out again.
Yes, absolutely. So after my 100K that I did Labor Day weekend, it just took me a long time to recover, and I didn't do anything for 2 weeks, but I figured, okay, I'm used to running, I'll just pick it back up again. But I had to literally shove myself out the door for my workouts because I just wasn't feeling it. You know, it's hard when you're used to doing something all the time and then not doing it. You come to like this, you almost hit a wall of your own where you don't do anything, and then it's really hard to start it back up again when you've got that habit.
It sure is. And I was telling her that I've run a race almost every weekend since 2015. But I took a couple weeks off to go to New Zealand, and I do not want to wake up early to run. It's a habit I broke, but it's a habit I'm gonna get back into starting tomorrow at the Great Santa Run. Yes! So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's run around this beautiful lake. Sydney, running on this bridge is kind of cool because I take that road, 95th Street, to my stepdad's house all the time. I've always looked at that bridge and thought it would be fun running in this park, and here we are.
This is great.
That's such a cool restaurant, which makes me think about all of your ultra running because there's so much eating that happens during an ultra.
Best part.
Tell me, how did you get into ultra running?
Well, it kind of started during the pandemic. A lot of the races were getting canceled and we were all staying home. And two different people, my trainer and my boss, both talked about how when things are shut down and things are closed, you have a lot of extra time on your hands. And they both said, you know, do you want to take this time to work on yourself and your goals? And that really resonated with me. And as a runner, the easiest thing to do is to make another running goal, right? So I noticed that a lot of the ultra marathons were still going on, fewer participants, people are spread out over a course, and so I thought, well, okay, let's do an ultra marathon. So it started with that I was inspired, and then here's a nice story. The reason I stuck with it after the first one is I had a bad experience at an ultra marathon, and Mr. Clint messaged me and peer pressured me to do the Rails to Trails 50K, and I really had my doubts because I was ready to quit ultra running after I had that bad race, and he and Brandon, you know, really pushed me and got me to sign up, and I'm really grateful now because he kept me from quitting distance running altogether. He gets all the credit.
That's an amazing story. I'm backing up because there's a car coming.
Yeah.
And also, my arm's about ready to fall off. That was a great story, Sydney.
Sorry, I'm a little bit wordy.
No, that's great. One good thing that came out of COVID, and what an amazing boss you have.
Yes.
Okay, we just ran a long row, but now we're in yet another beautiful park with squirrels and more squirrels and more squirrels. I just adopted a new dog 7 days ago, and she would be pulling my arm out of my socket right now.
Rotator cuff.
So Sydney and I were just talking about race courses and running hills during races and how we prepare for races. And I'm kind of one of those people that just shows up and runs it. But you...
I'm a nerd. Yeah, I try to practice things as much as I can to make it easier the day of the race, or try to have fun during a race. But what I was telling Jason is like the Gobbler Grind Full, for example. They have a very hilly spot around mile 20, and sometimes we practice a lot, but your body just kind of decides what it likes and doesn't like at mile 20. So there is quite the argument for just showing up and taking whatever gets thrown at you on a course, that's for sure.
Yes, and mile 20, for those of you who have not run a marathon, is kind of that point in a race where your body wants to shut down anyway. And at the Gobbler Grind, there's a hill, a pretty substantial hill at mile 20.
Yes, it is. And when I looked it up, when I was reading about running, initially it's the idea that your body only holds about an hour's worth of glycogen to fuel the muscles. And so that's why marathoners, you see them eating all the gels and doing the Gatorade and things like that to try to get through, because they're burning all the calories and the energy. And so in a marathon, you really have to be careful about how you're using your energy and how you're fueling, or you hit the wall.
Right.
Boy, that's not fun.
I think we've all done it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sydney, I mentioned earlier that you have become quite the ultra runner with your 100K that you did. Can you tell me a little bit about what goes through your head to motivate yourself while doing such long distances?
Well, one of my favorite quotes that some of my running friends have said to me, and it just always sticks with me, is, you didn't come this far just to come this far. Like, when you prepare for one of those events and you put all those months of hard work in, you don't want to say that that was all for nothing because you quit, you know? And in ultra running, where they have generous cutoffs, you can always take a break. You can walk, you can get your snack, your fireball shot, whatever, and get back out there, but just keep moving forward.
That is great motivation. My first ultra, the Nighthawk, I didn't train for it, as you know. I don't train for races. And I was struggling the third 10-mile loop, So what I did is I talked to myself, and I'm not going to share too much of that information because I'm sure Clint is going to ask me about it at McDonald's when he does his one-on-one interview with me, and I want it to be a surprise. So, look at Clint is a Tall Runner's YouTube channel and subscribe so you don't miss that. Let's go on loop number 2. Recently, you started seeing Rex,
Yes.
who is a phenomenal and strong runner.
Yes.
You've run many races together. What's it like running with someone so fast, so strong, and so motivated?
Well, he really motivates me, which is great. It's hard to keep up with him sometimes. So there are some races where we'll talk beforehand and I'll say, I want to let you fly. Go ahead, But other times he'll stick with me. But he has paced people in their races like Karen Hayes for full marathon at Loggerhead. And it's just nice being with someone that understands what you're feeling during these hard efforts and knows what it takes to get someone through. It's really great.
Yeah, that's nice that you have such a great running relationship and such a strong partner. I'm not sure if you can hear me over the wind, but look at this beautiful lake. Sydney, you're not being my Vanna.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know we were going to hold hands.
I didn't know what you meant by banner.
So Sydney and I were just talking about her relationship with Rex and how it's built on a lot of things, including running. And then there's my relationship with my wife, where we both understand that running is my deal and she wants nothing to do with it, which is perfectly fine. But then we were talking about how you find those running partners, those running friends that you really mesh well with. Mine is Hallie, and I just feel so fortunate that I found someone who can run at the same pace and distance as me, and my wife has full trust in both of us, which is the key to our relationship. Trust, trust, trust. Oh, and trust.
Amen.
Amen. All right, we're almost done with this loop. We're close to our start finish, which I think is probably about a half mile away.
Yeah, we're at 5.39 right now.
5:39, okay. I almost said 3/4 of a mile, but I thought that was overestimating, but I'll check back with you in a little bit. Now, we've been running on kind of tight sidewalks here. I'm really surprised, having never run with you, we have not bumped into each other even once. Good job, us. Okay, while I was telling Sydney something about my running experience, she went woohoo really quietly. So I asked her what that was, and she said that was our 6 mile mark. So coming up here around the corner is where our cars are parked, and she said that should be exactly a 10K.
Woohoo!
Nice. So tomorrow I only have a 5K, but I might be stiff from today's run. I also know my breathing's not there, so I'll probably be doing some walking on that tough hilly course.
I don't blame you.
She's run it. She knows what I'm talking about.
I hate that hill up to Quivira.
Yes, yes. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's finish this strong.
All right.
All right, Sydney, here we are at our cars.
Woo!
What's our final distance?
6.28.
Okay, we're
Stop the
overachievers.
garbage.
Overachievers. So, it was so much fun running with you. I got to know more about you than I knew before. But you said something that really hit me. You were talking about like what's in your heart that keeps you running. So can you just kind of expand on that a little bit?
So I was thinking about my recovery after my 100K, and we were talking about recovery from races, and I said that, you know, all of our bodies are unique and they respond to different stimuli uniquely, whether it's exercise or anything else that happens in our lives. And you know, the best thing that we can all do is just to honor our bodies for their uniqueness and to take care of our bodies for their uniqueness, because running is something that we get to do, and there are a lot of people that can't do that. So I think it's a really good thing to honor where we're at while we're running, try to enjoy it as much as possible, and just see how far we can get.
That's awesome, because what that also expresses to me is Sydney doesn't judge me for not training for runs. I don't judge her for how detailed she is with her running and planning and everything. I don't wear a watch, she does. But that's what makes us individuals. That's what makes us runners, the type of runners we are. And that's what makes the running community so strong, is because we're so accepting basically of everybody. So if you're not a runner, I suggest, if it's something you think you might be interested in, find a running group that is in your area, because you'll find some of the most amazing people, especially if it's a trail running group.
Yes.
They are amazing people. If you enjoyed meeting Sydney, if you enjoyed watching this video, I ask that you please like, comment, and subscribe, because as you know, this is the year I ran with other people that I never ran with before, and I'm learning so much.
Thank you for the run.
Oh my gosh, thank you for inviting me.